Hey guys, it's Danny. Alrighty, today we're gonna make a cookie experiment. We're gonna try out a new orchid medium, sponges. Alrighty, now bear with me. I'm gonna talk you through what prompted me to choose sponges. So, I actually really wanted to try rock wool. In my region, I don't find this brand. I find a different mineral wool that comes in kind of thin sheets. And also we actually worked with it recently, and mineral wool is a little bit itchy in the sense that it kind of attacks hands. If you inhale it, you start to cough. It does present some disadvantages. Now, rock wool or mineral wool is already used in the hobby. There is also the green mix that uses rock wool and things go great. Therefore, I wanted to try it out. But because I don't find what I'm actually looking for, I started to look for alternatives. And what kind of looks like rock wool? Sponges. Now, this is not an original idea that just hit me. No, sponges are actually already used with orchids, but not by hobbyists necessarily, but by companies or mass production nurseries. Have you ever bought yourself an orchid, you went ahead and repotted it and you found bits and pieces of sponges mixed in with the bark? Well, this is because sponges act like sphagnum moss, but they have a few benefits. First of all, they don't degrade. They're synthetic, so they do not decompose. Second of all, they're much cheaper than sphagnum moss. And now that I look back, I used to hate the sponges, but I can see the reasoning. Like Roger suggested, when you use sphagnum moss in combination with the bark, two things will happen. One, you will probably get a better ratio of water and air because sphagnum moss does retain water. But two, sphagnum moss will degrade faster than bark. And this will lead to the bark degrading faster because sphagnum moss retains a lot of water. And also it will act like a sort of nursery of decomposition bacteria and fungi. So what if we use something inorganic with bark, such as sponges? And well, that's what nurseries do. So I thought, why don't I copy that idea, and instead of bark, we're just gonna use something inorganic. So today I'm gonna pot an orchid in sponges and leca. And what do you know, we also have a volunteer. Phalaenopsis orchids, they always tend to volunteer for our cookie projects, right? Alrighty, so first of all, let's prepare the sponges. I'm actually gonna cut them into tiny pieces, but I don't need the abrasive side, so... Oh, this is good. No, it's not good quality. I'm just gonna remove the abrasive side. There we go. Next thing I will do is cut this sponge into pieces using a pair of pruners. No, I need a scissors for this. Let's see. Oh, much better. Little pro tip. Now, I have this pair of scissors for 7 years already. It's the only one that's left in the set. This is an IKEA pair of scissors. They are so good. They're the cheapest thing you've ever had. They just work no matter what. They're stainless steel. I have no rust on this one, and I mainly used it with orchids and with water and stuff like that. They're really good. And they come in a set of 3. This is the medium one, you have a smaller one and a bigger one. P.S. This is not sponsored by IKEA, but this is a good product, you guys. Definitely, you can buy it. And this will be more than enough for this little pot. One more thing that I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna remove this layer of abrasive side because it is quite abrasive and I don't think roots will like it. There we go. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that now. So here we go, this is what I'm left with. Now at this point, I think we can simply use the sponge, no need for leca. There's a little problem with the sponge, very similar to sphagnum moss, it compacts. Now, let's imagine that the Phalaenopsis will produce a massive root system. Well, what will happen is it will press down on the sponge. And this will happen. So by adding some leca, hopefully we're going to give this experiment a proper chance at working, and we're going to prevent the massive compacting that the sponge can do. But obviously, I think an experiment with only sponge is worth it as well. Not with Phalaenopsis though, because they create thick and strong roots, maybe with something else, like a tiny oncidium or something like that. And P.S. if this works, you know what it's good for? For those orchids that produce flower spikes from somewhere within the medium, like Buffinias, some Draculas, or most Draculas actually, also Stanhopias. And you know why? It's soft and it does have quite a lot of air pockets in. You could use it in a basket if you wanted to, maybe cut away bigger pieces. It does not decompose And moreover, it's better than synthetic because sponge does not really repel water. Eventually, it will suck it up, or at least it doesn't do it as much as the synthetic. Hopefully, I don't know. Alrighty, so now I'm going to prepare my orchid. I'm gonna unpot it, clean out the root system, remove the sphagnum moss, and I'm gonna come back with the actual repotting. Alrighty, so I've prepared my orchid, but the next thing I wanna do is actually pre-soak this sponge. If you know sponges, when you first use them, they do kind of repel water. You just have to soak them, and then they'll start to actually absorb water. So I'm just gonna go ahead and soak these little pieces, gonna drain the excessive water and come back. Okay, so the sponge is wet. I've also selected some pieces or some pebbles of leca. I'm choosing leca because I want something that does not retain all that much water, since the sponge retains a heck of a lot of water. If I would use ceramics, it would be a bit too wet, I suppose. So leca will have to do just fine. And now, let's try to pot this orchid. And this is quite interesting. Let's see. I actually warmed some sponges at the bottom because water might be in the tray and I just want it to get absorbed. This is so weird. Well, let's see if it works. I think I will need to place the sponges one by one, kinda. And then the leca. And here it is. Looks a little cookie, doesn't it? Well, if it's gonna work. Okay, now let's see how this thing waters. Okay, so first let's try out watering from above. And well, as you can see, yeah, it went down. Now I'm thinking maybe only sponges would have been better. I don't know. I'm just gonna leave this like this and see if the water is actually soaked up. Just gonna wait an hour or so. So I will come back to you then. Okay, while we wait on the sponges, I'm gonna tell you about a little idea that I have. And if you like it, just let me know down below. So what if we organize a little bit of a contest, like a beauty pageant, but for orchids? So the idea is you guys can submit pictures of the best looking orchid that you have with the best bloom display and all of that. Also, you will provide how you actually care for it and what medium do you use, what setup, and all of those things, what you fertilize with, and all of that. Pretty much everything you did to obtain that beautiful orchid display. And each month we will have this contest. I will pick 5, let's say 5 submissions, and I'm gonna present them all in one video. And you guys, the viewers, will get to vote which one is your favorite. So we're gonna have a winner. Now, the point of this little contest is to actually learn from you guys as well, to see how you grow your orchids, what mediums you use. I think this is fitting since we're trying out the sponge medium. I'm up for ideas, really. I'm actually always looking for new setups and we can learn a lot together because sometimes it can be hard to find different ideas for orchids on the internet. So the idea is to share your techniques and tips and growing methods and all of that with the rest of the world. I am making it like a sort of a contest because maybe at some point, not necessarily now, we can have some prizes. And that should be very fun. But the main idea is just to learn and just to see what other people have, how they grow their orchids, results, and all of that. All setups are welcomed, no matter how kooky they are, no matter how weird they are. Water culture is welcomed as well. So yeah, however you grow your orchids, I think it's worth sharing with the world. What is not allowed in the contest is brand new orchids. You just purchase an orchid from the store and you enter it in the contest. No, that's not the point of the contest. We just all want to learn about different ideas and what people use. So that's the point. So if you like this idea, just let me know down below in a comment and we're definitely gonna do it. I'm gonna set up the details if this is something that appeals to you. I think it's gonna be fun. I'm always looking for ideas, particularly in the inorganic side of things, but organic is always good as well. So if this is something that appeals to you as well, let me know in a comment down below. And if there are enough people liking this idea, we're just gonna make it. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure this is going anywhere because the sponge was already wet. So I think I'll have to determine in time if it is absorbent, how I should water best, and if it's worth it. So I guess the best thing to do is just to keep you up to date, and we'll see in time how it does. Alrighty, so this has been the experiment for today. Thank you for watching. Let me know down below if you've ever tried it, if you have ever grown orchids on sponges or in pieces of sponges, and how did it go for you? So thank you for watching. Don't forget to let me know down below if you're okay with that contest, pageant, whatever idea. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe to my channel for regular orchid and plants videos, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a video. And with that said, I'll see you all next time. Bye! So I have a little issue with one of the phals, the peach, wild peach. I'm not sure why, but she's starting to shed some flowers. Now it might be due to the fact that I kind of skipped watering. I already know I did for this one, but I corrected the situation. However, this, I don't know. I moved orchids here kind of recently. I had them over there. So maybe it's a watering thing. Other than that, I cannot really tell. We have roots, we have everything, so I'm just gonna try to water this one a little better, but it's sad. I actually liked this one. So let's see, maybe it's a watering thing.